Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Just doing a quick recap after the day 5 stream. We made a lot of progress on our wonderful trading bot here, Trade Me Up. Just to recap what we accomplished today, we were able to continue working on the strategy implementation. So yesterday we left off where we needed to actually start handling the Polygon streaming client minute aggregate received. So we're going to be streaming minute data into our strategies. And before we had no way to actually capture that. But what we started doing was thinking through of the best way to do that. And what I came up with was creating a model called security. And I'll go into the details there. But basically, we're going to maintain a dictionary of all the symbols that we are required to subscribe for that are suggested by or required by the strategies themselves. So each strategy will have a list of subscriptions that it wants or symbols that it wants to subscribe to, provided on the initialize or wherever they want to provide it when you create the strategy. And then that is referenced when we're actually now loading the strategies. So if we go over here to our strategy helper and take a look at the method here for load strategies, before we had this looping through, we initialized the strategies here, and then we added them and waited for them to finish at the bottom here. But we also added in, now we loop through each of the subscriptions, we add it to our securities object and create the model for security. And I'll show you here within the model, we have a delegate that then also places the strategy on data received onto the delegate. So now we have this global list of symbols, and then attaching that to the strategy to the symbol is this delegate for data received. So if we go into the security model that we created, this will have more later, but right now it has a symbol, so it just defines what ticker it's for. It has that delegate that we created, so we can start pushing the stream data into the strategies themselves. And just a constructor here. Later it will have order history and transaction dates and whether we're invested or not. And that information is important so that we can prevent ourselves from like day trading, or if we want like a cool down period, say, we bought something and we had a losing trade and we want to wait X amount of days or hours or a period before we start trading it again, so we don't get ourselves into just a losing cycle. Then we'll have transaction history there when we bought and sold. That will also be important too, is to guarantee that. So if we wanted in this bot to be able to load multiple strategies at once. So if strategy A buys, tickers Tesla, well, strategy B won't try to sell it out because it wasn't invested using strategy B. It's only in strategy A. So we'll start tagging our orders, and all that information will be stored here in the security object. So going back to other things that we implemented, so now that we have securities and a list of symbols that we know we have to subscribe to, we can remove the hard coding for the connection and subscription. So before we had a scheduler that is handling our connections, so it's going to check every minute, and if the market's open, it's going to go ahead and try to connect and subscribe to this Polygon streaming client so we can start receiving data. So in here, we actually created two more helper functions, one that's called subscribe and unsubscribe. So the subscribe is going to first try to unsubscribe if we currently are subscribed. So just remove that subscription and then re-add it here at the bottom. So the way it's re-adding it is using the keys from our securities dictionary to provide as the symbols to subscribe to. So basically what this comes down to is a unique list from all of our strategies that will be added to this dictionary. So we will have all the keys and all unique symbols that need to be subscribed to, and that can just be handled right here in our subscribe helper function. So with that was just added up into our previously existing connect and disconnect methods that we created earlier. And I think that pretty much sums it up for what we were able to accomplish today. Tomorrow, we're going to continue with this strategy framework and start working on the state data and the potentially indicators. So we'll have some moving averages and a rate of change percentage that we initially want to implement. So we'll start building out like a based indicator, what that's going to look like, and then specific indicators that we can build off of. That will include also having subscription feeds for those indicators. So if it's a daily indicator, well, it's going to have to update with daily data. So we'll have a job that runs, daily, pulls for the most, recent data piece, or the last data point for that, and then add it to the list of data points that we're looking for. I'll get into the details on that when we get to it. It's going to be pretty cool once you see it. We'll basically have usable indicators that we can subscribe to, and then they'll have, on the period or the resolution that they're looking, either hourly, minute, daily, 4-hour, whatever we decide on the aggregation period, we'll be able to update those symbols. So that's it for today. I will most likely be back tomorrow streaming at 7 p.m. If I don't make it, it'll be the next day. Maybe something didn't work out in my schedule, but please do subscribe if you want to catch me going live the next time that I do. I am also uploading this to GitHub. The link is in the description. Feel free to clone it. It is open source. You can download code at any time you want. I'm looking for feedback, so if you have any suggestions or comments or questions, please do leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks, and have a good day.